What's up, everybody? Thank you for your patience. Sorry about that. Kid had a birthday party to go to, so got out of there a little later than anticipated and had to stop for some food, man. But we are here doing it big, man. Make sure you hit that like button for us as we're in a way later time frame than normal. So definitely sucks. But yeah, here we are, man. We are rolling, man. Again, appreciate you all for stopping through on the show. Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. I see George T there, Robert Road. What's up, Justin Menike, Mike Miller. Good to see you guys. Sorry. Yeah, crazy trying to get over here. What's up, Justin? But we are here ahead of tomorrow's game. We're gonna do the game tomorrow too. Um, oh, sorry. I did bring up our plaque that we've been trying to get rid of. Everybody chooses the money, so we're not giving a money option tonight. We're gonna do the plaque. But it has all types of cool shit on there, as you can see. So definitely, we're gonna do that one here. We'll see how many people we get jumping through. But tomorrow we'll definitely do a live before the show, also, or before the game, also. So that will be something cool to do ahead of the Steelers game tomorrow. You see some players that probably won't play. You will see Russell Wilson tomorrow. I did see, I think it was George or somebody. George asked, besides TJ, who else isn't playing tomorrow? Is Highsmith still injured? I don't believe you will see. Of course, you won't see TJ Watt, but I'm going to look here real quick and just double check on the Steelers injuries just in case I'm inaccurate with that for the Buffalo game here. I want to make sure because I don't want to tell you guys something wrong that's not. But don't expect, if somebody has an injury that's of any type of concern, don't expect them to be contributors in the game or participating here. So, again, let me double check here. And the Bills do have a lengthy injury report here also ahead of the preseason matchup. You're going to see one of their key linebackers out. Chase Claypool, of course, gone, released by the Buffalo Bills. So that definitely hinders their chances tomorrow as putting on a good performance. But again, the preseason is what, guys? Just there for building. I'm trying to look up this injury report, Steelers injury report versus Buffalo. There we go. All right, I got it coming up now. But I wanted to make sure I'm accurate for you guys. Was about to say have a good party. I'll check back in a few minutes. Oh, thank you, man. What's up, Daniel Warman? No, it wasn't his. It wasn't his birthday. It was one of his friends. My kid is. He. I don't know. He's a social butterfly for some reason. So we've been going. This is like the second party in like less than a week's time that we had went to. So yeah, it. It adds up, man. It gets crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. All right, let me get this preseason injury report. Offensive tackle Troy Fautanu, questionable with the knee. Don't expect him to play. Wide receiver Roman Wilson, again, questionable with the ankle. Offensive guard slash center Nate Herbig, undisclosed injury, also questionable. Defensive tackle Keanu Benton, questionable. Cornerback Grayland Arnold suffered a calf injury there a couple days ago as camp was wrapping up. He is out. Cole Holcomb, knee out. I don't expect to see Cole Holcomb, man. I just don't expect to see him. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have prepared for life after him by adding Tyler Medikevich. I think that was their plan for that, just to fill that void and see how this all continues to unfold for Cole Holcomb. But guys, I don't really have high optimism for him, which is kind of a bummer, man. Because I felt like Cole Holcomb was really hitting his stride with the Steelers when he was there, available, healthy, playing, doing the things that I thought a top flight middle linebacker should be able to do. And Cole Holcomb was a major contributor in that horrific knee injury that transpired for him. I can't remember which game it was, but it was a heavy blow, man. A heavy blow, and I'm really bummed to see how long this has gone on for him. The rehab, the work put in for his ability to even have a possible return, and it just hasn't got it done yet. Hasn't been able to get out there and start the process of really being able to turn it up and play. The Bills injury report for tomorrow: linebacker Matt Milano, bicep, he's out. Tight end Dawson Knox with a groin / ankle injury, he's questionable. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver out with a knee, or questionable with a knee. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow, groin, questionable. Linebacker Balin Spector, calf, questionable. Wide receiver Byron Thompson, hamstring, out. Quarterback Shane Bukel, neck, out. You look at that linebacking core, that's kind of the same thing that the Steelers were facing. So many injuries there last year, and you know how hard that is and how tough that is to overcome. So, honestly, tomorrow, guys, with the return of Russell Wilson at the helm tomorrow, I do want to see some work tomorrow in the middle of the field for Russell Wilson, especially with so many question marks at the inside linebacker position for Buffalo. I want to see the Steelers take advantage of weakness of their opponent tomorrow. I want to see that. I know you're not going to see dramatic schemes, and the schematics of the whole offense aren't going to be, crazy in depth or anything like that. But I would like to see them take a really poor position for an opposing team and really exploit that and utilize that as kind of a practice for taking advantage of, weakness of a team, and really allowing Russell Wilson to start getting that chemistry in the middle of the field with the tight ends, the backs out of the backfield, the quick hitters on the wide receiver side of things. You utilize those quick slant routes that the Steelers used so much with guys like Deontay Johnson in the past. You saw a little bit with Calvin Austin last year. You saw him score in the Buffalo game, I believe, in the playoffs on a quick slant. So those types of speedy guys, you want to see them utilize those quick over-the-middle type slant plays. The tight ends really work the middle of the field. The running backs really being able to come downhill, exploit that in the run game also, to where they're not going to be filling the gaps as heavy, as they would like to. So, again, take advantage of that. The offensive line getting to the second level is imperative. Also would like to see that. So there's some things there. When you see something going on with an opposing team, attack it. And that's the name of the game, man. Find the weaknesses within your opponent and really, truly exploit them. And that's what you have to do all season long. So why not start now and really go after something like that? And you look at this Steelers team and you say to yourself, are they going to be able to utilize those tight ends over the middle? I think that's a big question mark, because a lot of people have worries with Russell Wilson, saying that he's not a guy that can get the ball over the middle of the field like we would want from a quarterback for the Steelers, and I think that that's going to prove to be a little bit false. I think Russell will be able to get it done there. I think Russell will be able to utilize those tight ends in a big, big way. And I'd like to really see guys tomorrow like Connor Hayward, Darnell Washington. We know what Pat Freiermuth can do. Yeah, work him in with a couple targets maybe, but I'd really like to see the Darnells and the Connors of the world to really hit their stride tomorrow in terms of preparation for the 2024 season with their game tomorrow, and really just have a big one, Just really get out there and get in rhythm a little bit. Let's get back to the chat. Robert Road, already hearing some talk about the Steelers being interested in an extension for Russ. Not sure about any time frame as to when an extension could occur, but they really like Russ. I've heard those grumblings now for actually a little while, and I don't think anything like that would happen until they really see what Russell's going to be able to do. And when you have a guy, I have confidence in Russell. Let's get that first and foremost out there. And I think many of you also have Russell Wilson confidence, that you believe in what he is still able to do at his age. But again, You're looking at a quarterback that's going to be 36 years old during the season, and you're really going to want to make sure that he is going to come out there, be able to really work well inside of Arthur Smith's offense. You have Arthur Smith for 3 seasons, so you really want to make sure that you have a guy that fits well in that system that's going to be able to perform at a high level still. And I think Russell Wilson's going to have to go out there and prove that. I don't see any type of extension being brought to the table before the regular season starts. And you know how the Steelers do. They don't do business in terms of contracts. They don't do anything contractually, it seems, during the season. That's, been their mantra for forever. They just don't do business like that during the season. So they either take care of it before or after the season ends. So Russell Wilson, in my eyes, I think I would anticipate a deal after the season if he ends up being that guy. I think what their plan is for Justin Fields is to try to wrap him up on a very team-friendly deal. Russell also. I think their ultimate goal is to get these guys in, get them really moving along here, but possibly if they have the opportunity before the regular season starts, to tie them up to a very, very team-friendly deal yet again and lock one of those or both of those guys up for a year or two or something like that. So I think Russell's at the stage of his career, though, guys, that he is smart enough to understand this, that you need pieces around you, that, necessarily taking the most money that you could possibly take isn't the correct solution all the time, especially at Russell Wilson's age, because you're going to want to make sure that you have playmakers, and the team's going to need that flexibility cap-wise in order to be able to put those players around you. And I think Russell understands that. I think Russell wants this to be his last stop in the NFL, and I think he wants to go out on top. I don't think Russell Wilson plans on going anywhere else. I think this is his farewell tour here with the Steelers, whether it be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. I think that this is Russell Wilson's last stop in the NFL, and I think he's made his money. He has a family, that he is really involved with, really seems to be a quality family guy in that aspect. So I think that this is just his last hurrah, and he wants to make the best of it. So I anticipate him being a more team-friendly type guy in terms of contractually anyway, All right, guys, make sure we're hitting that like button as we're a little over 12 minutes in as we continue here on Steel City Live, our daily live stream. We're a little bit late today, so we'll see. We'll look and continue to see and monitor their chat and stuff and see how many people are part of the mafia that are in here. We may just do our drawing for this plaque tomorrow during the pregame show. Maybe we'll have more people then. I just want to have a little bit more people, so I'm kind of waiting it out. Again, I know we're at an oddball time, so if you're not watching it now, you can watch it later for sure on the replay. As we are embarking on preseason game 2, man. Robert Road, I thought you were at an adult party as an adult beverage. Good on you taking. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. No, I don't do that stuff anymore, man. I don't ever get to do that. What's up, Danny George? Yeah, man, we are a little late. When it comes to stuff with the kids, man, I have to push up my stuff, man. I got to make sure they get what they need and get to where they need to be. Robert Road, that old Steelers stand of not doing contracts during the season makes me wonder if that could change with Omar calling shots. That's a good thought there, Robert. That's something that is a possibility. And the reason I say that it probably won't is because you still have an old school Rooney inside of that owner, or at the top of that ownership tree. You still have a guy that is working off of fundamentals that were laid years prior to his arrival as being the key contributor in the Rooney family as the head of the franchise. He is definitely going to continue to follow those trends in my eyes. When I look at the Rooney family as a whole, I don't see them deviating from some of the foundational things that perhaps have got them to where they are with 6 Super Bowl championships, really being the world's team. There's so many fans all across the globe of this football team, and I think that they try to stay, tried and true to their traditions That one, I would be, I wouldn't be shocked. We'll say this, Robert. I wouldn't be shocked if the Pittsburgh Steelers changed anything under Omar Khan. I wouldn't be shocked by it at all. But I would lean more toward no, that doesn't happen in that particular instance. I just think that has to deal with the Rooney family in general. And I think that what that comes down to and why they do that is because they don't want disruptions during the season. You know what I mean? I think they feel like if you do contracts during the season that you're going to cause disruption within the locker room. You could potentially have, bitter contract disputes amongst the players, between the franchise and the players, or certain players anyway, and I think they just want to shut that all down, make that their way of doing business, and allow their players to know that once the season starts, we're done with the contract stuff, to where maybe, yeah, maybe that alleviates some of that stuff. Danny George, take care of your boys. Good job. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it, man. We were up at Milan Park up in Morgantown at the Aquatic Center. They were swimming, man. Robert Road, it could be cheaper than waiting till after the season. But yeah, the Rooneys don't want distractions. Yeah, I think that's it too. Yeah, that's what I think, Robert, for sure. I think that has the biggest part of that whole scenario of contracts. All boils down to the ownership. They're the ones signing the check, the ownership group. There are other investors and things of that nature, but they're not calling the shots. It's definitely the Rooney family calling the big shots, calling the moves. So definitely the Rooneys got their system, man, no doubt about it. But you say cheaper, and I think that's exactly right too. I think if you did approach Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, say perhaps they don't do any type of trades here for any type of wide receiver, you have a lot of contracts in-house that you need to take care of, some house cleaning that perhaps could be done here now ahead of the season if you're not going to reach out and go and make any moves outside of the organization. Perhaps Najee Harris, an extension there. Perhaps a Pat Fryermuth deal. Those types of things could be done. A Cam Hayward possible extension get done there. Maybe that happens. Or perhaps the biggest question marks, the quarterback positions. Maybe you do get Russell Wilson for, 20 million a year or 25 million a year for the next 2-3 years, and also tie Justin Fields up for 10, 12 million per season for 2 years, and allow yourself to have that continuity inside of that quarterback room, still way under what some franchises are paying just for their lead guy at the quarterback position, and still I think have quality enough talent there to be able to be competitive and still be able to go out there next year when you have immense amounts of cap space and be able to provide major weapons all over the football field, especially offensively, and really continue to beef up that defense in a major way. And I like the defense where it sits now, but a little tweak in $10-12 million extra here or there, you could really add some key players during the offseason. I'm sure of that. That's why it saddened me a little bit to watch Justin Simmons get signed for, I believe, $8 million a year. I thought the Steelers could have used that help there. Does it kill them not to have that? No, but it would have been a real luxury pick, no doubt about it, or pickup, rather. That's what I'm looking at, Oh, wow, my computer just wiped out here. That was crazy. Like all my tabs that I had went crazy, went wiped out. They all left. I don't know where they all went, but it is what it is. Roberta Campbell, what's up? I am doing well. Danny just got done watching the Indiana Fever. Oh, cool. WNBA has become very popular. That's definitely cool to see. A women's league get to be popular and have a fan base, have a following. Which is really cool. And, you got players like that, Caitlin Clark and all that stuff that have really brought notoriety to that sport. So that is really cool for women's sports as a whole. And I hope they continue to run with it and take advantage of that, because if you look at some of the sports leagues throughout the history of those sports leagues and maybe even like the NBA, take a look at that in some of the eras that they had where they've capitalized off some of those key players that gained a lot of notoriety and really rode that player and rode that player to have major league success. So that's pretty cool. And I think that I continue to hope that they ride that wave. Robert Road, is this if this is where Wilson wants to finish his career and have a chance at a ring or two, maybe a hometown discount staying in the Berg happens. He and his wife have made bank. Yeah, they're very wealthy. They don't. Russell Wilson could quit playing football tomorrow. He has an extremely wealthy wife. He's extremely wealthy. He's made massive amounts of money inside of the NFL with endorsements deals, especially with Nike with the 3 brand. I mean, my kid just had the 3 brand backpack on right tonight when he went to the pool. So you know that guy's making some cash, bro. He has an exciting brand with them that a lot of people don't even realize is Russell Wilson's, signature brand with Nike, his signature line per se. And a lot of people I don't even think realize it. And it's just a cool logo. It's just neat. And it's a cool design, and I think people just think, oh, it's another cool Nike design, and they don't even realize it's Russell Wilson 3 brand, and you see it all over Nike clothes right now, and that's really cool to see and to know that that guy's on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and yeah, maybe we'll get to keep him for a little bit, and hopefully he can play at a high level. Darius Kasperitis, I don't know what you mean by that. Danny George, hope you are doing fine. We're doing all good. Hopefully you are too, buddy. Justin Meneke, do you think the Steelers will win the Super Bowl in 2025 if they don't this year in 2024? It's really hard for me to ever say, like, oh, this is going to be the year the Steelers win the Super Bowl. I think that there is a window open, Justin, right now currently for the Steelers. And I know some people may want to go out there and pick the Steelers to be basement dwellers inside of the AFC North, but I happen to have a different opinion of this roster currently. I think that there is currently a window open for this Pittsburgh Steelers team, and I say that why? Because I think there is adequate enough weapons. I think there's a quality young offensive line in place that still has to prove themselves, but I think could really be good at a very low cost. I think there's potentially a good quarterback play on the horizon. I think that there is great potential there, but I also think that it's, great potential for failure there also. So it really could go either way, but I'm going to say it's more 60-40 in terms of success because I think both quarterbacks seem to maybe fit the style that Arthur Smith will put out there schematically. So I like that, and I think that they're going to be fine offensively, and I think they're going to continue to add any major piece that they possibly can in terms of talent. So I'm not afraid of that happening or not happening. I think that the Steelers have been committed to doing that here as of late, pursuing Brandon Ayuk as heavily as they have. So I have confidence in that group, and I have confidence in Arthur Smith also moving forward into this year and beyond. I really think Arthur Smith is going to be able to bring a brand of football to the city of Pittsburgh that the Steelers franchise, the organization as a whole, including the fan base, have admired for so many years, really being a rough and rowdy group on offense, running the football, being tough and hard-nosed, and really playing Blitzburg-type defense. I think that formula is coming back. I still think it's a formula that can win, but I think it's a formula in which the offense has to just be a little bit more productive than maybe in the past. You could have got away back in the day winning a ball game, a lot of the time 17-14, late in the game with a Boz kick or something. You're looking at those times. I think those times are a little bit past us. I think now you need to be more in the, the 20s. You need to average that 24 points a game, 25 points a game area. And that's why I said I feel like you're still in an era where defense can still keep you in ball games, really still keep you competitive, really give you a good competitive edge having hard-nosed defense. But yet you still just need a little bit more contribution from the offense, considering it's a very offensive-driven league with the rules being tailored to offensive play. So definitely. I know who Darius Kasperitis was. I just didn't know what you meant by that. Do you think the Steelers? No, we did that, but definitely, Justin. I think the Steelers will. They have an opportunity. We'll see what happens if they can capitalize off of it. Yucko, yeah, I love that woman can not only cook but they can miss layups on TV and shit. Is dope as hell. Hey, play the Ray Rice video, bro. No thanks. George T. Just hope I don't lose power tomorrow. Debbie took my power last week for about 10 hours and I missed the game. Man, George, yeah, we got to catch that. Guys, another thing, too, you're only going to be able to see the game unless you're in the local network, I believe, on NFL Network. So you need to be in the local region, I believe, to watch it, in your local package. But, yeah, I know who Derek. Yeah, I know who he is, buddy. I just didn't know what you meant by Darius Casper. Out of the blue, I was like, what's he talking about? Roberta Campbell, question. Is anybody else like me who is tired of hearing about Kaepernick? This guy really doesn't want to play in the NFL. He enjoys playing the victim card. He is 36. And to me, he is no longer, dude. Roberta, I said this too the other day. I agree with you. It wouldn't be an off season without a stupid Colin Kaepernick article saying that he wanted to be involved in the NFL. You see, John Harbaugh, I guess, Jim Harbaugh offered what's his name, Colin Kaepernick a role on the Los Angeles Chargers staff as a consultant to the quarterback position. I don't know how a guy could be a consultant that hasn't played in the league in so long, but whatever. He isn't. He's no longer relevant to me, but it's so odd that every offseason you will see that article about Colin Kaepernick potentially coming back to the NFL. I will say this, at least there isn't a circus surrounding it any longer. And, that guy dug his own ditch, I'm all for the sports shit, Well, no, let me rephrase that. I'm not about the bullshit. Like, I don't like the kneeling. I don't want to hear a player's political views. I don't want to hear their social views. That's not what I'm tuning into sports for. And that's why I really wasn't down with the Colin Kaepernick bullshit, man. You leave your other bullshit at home. I could care less what you think of a political stance candidate. I don't want to hear about any of your social views whatsoever. You are there to do what? Entertain people and play ball, play, hockey, play whatever, swim, do whatever it is that you do. But don't bring your bullshit into it because no one wants to hear your opinion. And I know the media enjoys it and they run with it and they have fun with it and they blow it up and it creates clicks and creates madness for them and creates revenue for the media. But here's my thing. I don't want to make revenue that bad to bring those types of things inside of sports. I'm sorry. I'd rather be, no revenue on the channel, to sit here and preach some social bullshit. I just don't think it's something you want to hear from me. I don't think it's something you want to hear from your favorite players either. George T. I was tired of him a good 10 years ago. Yeah, me too, man. Absolutely. And I'm sorry. I will say this too. You don't disrespect your country on the national stage. If you don't like it here, go somewhere else, man. It's a real simple formula, in my opinion. If you don't like it, you don't want to be here, you want to disrespect your country, go somewhere else. What's the big deal? It's real easy. No one will hate you for it. No one will be mad at you for it. Go on. Do something different. That's part of being able to do whatever you want to do. Roberta Campbell, I saw today, I guess, on ESPN in a poll had TJ as number 9 best player, but yet again, they have Myles Garrett ranked higher than TJ. Yeah, Roberta, you see those now so very much, and it's just a skewed opinion, and you look at what they try to do in certain instances within the national media. They try to drive their narrative. They try to create their own narrative in terms of who's the best here, what they do best, who does this best, who does that best. There's a ranking for everything. Everybody's on a ranking sheet, a chart somewhere. It's almost out of control. It's like the tip culture in our country. John Broadway, what's up, my friend? Robert wrote, unless you pay for NFL Plus, you can't watch the game live out of market. I will be watching the game live here in Colorado. I can even select the Steelers home team broadcast. That's pretty cool, Robert. So you have to have, so guys, according to Robert, you have to have NFL Plus to be able to get the game out of network. I think Sean also told me that too yesterday or the day before. I've been trying to talk to Sean because I have a new idea for a new show that I've pitched to a couple people of possibly keeping our channel will stay the same. So don't think of that's going to go away. This channel will still be what it is, the same. It's not going to go anywhere, but I have an idea actually for another channel. And what I want to make that channel about is the AFC conference as a whole. And really talk about every team inside of the AFC conference and really dive deep into those teams and have a couple guys with me and do, 2-3 podcasts a week, especially during the season, maybe even a little bit more. But I'm hoping to maybe do something like that. So I've been trying to talk to Sean about that stuff, and I think he told me about the NFL Plus because he's out of market too. John Broadway, yes, I agree. No more political ideologies and issues. I watch football to forget politics and religion. Yeah, and I value everybody's beliefs because I believe in a free society. I think everybody should be able to think, say, do whatever you want to do. As long as it doesn't hurt somebody else, it is what it is, physically. I don't care about feelings. I ain't the feelings police, bro. Feelings, I don't give a shit if it hurts your feelings or not. That doesn't bother me in the least bit. But physically, as long as it doesn't harm somebody physically, I'm cool, man. Feelings police, I don't care about. But yeah, I don't want to hear your political bullshit. I don't want to hear any of your social issues. Nothing. I just want to talk football, have fun, watch the game, enjoy the game, man. That's why we tune in. Steelers Nation 412. Brandon sounds nice, but I just don't want to lose something bigger than what we would be getting. Don't kill that wide receiver group. It has to develop. Yeah, Steelers Nation 412. I don't know if you watch me very often or not, but good to see you in the chat anyway. But if you watch me a lot, you know how high I really actually am on this wide receiver room here in 2024, and I think it has immense potential. I think Van Jefferson is completely underrated. Again, guys, the only time that you ever saw him healthy and really be immersed into a team and be there through the camp, through it all, and really be part of a team and not have that injury bug bite him and not be in flux, by other players maybe pushing him out due to an injury and all that shit. How he got pushed out with the Rams with Atwood, Nakua, Cooper Kupp, all those guys. But Van Jefferson was very productive when he was involved in that Rams offense, and I think he can do just that for somebody else. Yes, you saw him go down to Atlanta, but that was in a mid-season situation, not familiar with the offense, not familiar with the city or franchise as a whole. It just wasn't a good situation, right away. He wasn't able to get immersed into the culture. However, he now moves over to the Pittsburgh Steelers to where he has been with the Steelers throughout all of the offseason programs and workouts and training camps and now preseason games. And I think you're really going to see that version of Van Jefferson yet again here in 2024, one in which can score double-digit touchdowns, a guy that can get, close to 1,000 yards receiving if given the opportunity. And you're coupling that with a guy like George Pickens, a guy that's going to be double-teamed a lot by opposing defenses, in which is going to free up guys like Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, hopefully a healthy Roman Wilson, players of that nature. Also, I think we're sleeping on guys that are on the bottom of the depth chart, but I still think can be contributors that have played on the big stage, and players like Scotty Miller. So don't discount those guys, But I definitely agree with Steelers Nation 412 here that this wide receiver room will grow and will have the possibility to potentially be pretty damn good. So definitely I'm not sleeping on those guys. And I think that the possibility is there to be really good. And I know a lot of people want to turn their eyes toward the tight end room and say, Arthur Smith's going to utilize that tight end room. That's just going to be it. the wide receiver room, we're good with what we have just because of the tight ends. I think in that tight end room, you have guys that can be receivers there too. Connor Hayward's a guy that's going to get immense mismatches in my eyes if put out there in the right situation. Pat Fryermuth reminds me of a Travis Kelsey body type, a little bit taller guy, a little bit thinner, a more quicker route runner at the tight end position. And then you go into a guy like Darnell Washington that's probably, a more true traditional blocking type tight end, a more physical tight end. So I think you have receivers that lie within that tight end room that's going to be able to help out the wide receiver room too. So I think you have receivers all over the place. I think you have immense weapons all over the place. And that's the name of the game. Who cares about a depth chart? Who cares about all that shit? Just roll with the weapons, man, and utilize it. Mix it up. Different every single week. That's what you want to see. Roberta Campbell, when he wrote his book and threw his adopted parents under the bus, these people chose him and gave him a good life and that he would not have had. He is the one with no respect. I know who you're talking about with Colin. Yeah, he's turd, dude. He is, Roberta. I lost. I don't know if I ever had respect for him because I really didn't follow his career as closely as some maybe that were San Francisco 49ers fans, but yeah, he's never struck me as a dude that I would be super pumped up about having. And when there was rumors about the Steelers getting him and stuff like that, like, oh, he should go to the Steelers, all that shit, I'm like, that would be a disaster. I don't think he fits in the city of Pittsburgh. It is showing on my YouTube TV on the regular NFL channel and not NFL Plus, so I will get to see them in real time. That's awesome too, Roberta. So that's another option, guys, too. And that's really cool also about having all of you guys from all over the country, all over the world. We have people from Canada. We have people from Australia. We have people from different parts in Europe and shit that watch. Mexico that we have people pop up here and make comments and stuff. So that's really cool to get to see, though, and get to be told, hey, you can watch it here, you can watch it there, and it gives a lot of people different options. So that's really cool, too. I need to tell Sean about YouTube TV. Maybe that would work out for him down in Hawaii. John Broadway, we need to go back to 70s football to where we don't have everything reduced to a number. Yeah, I just am not, I can't get into all these analytical charts constantly. I value analytics, I do, and I think it has a role in the game. But everything doesn't have to be broke down into a rankings chart, It's just like, dude, you see all these weird statistics that Football Focus puts out there and how much stock people put into some of those things. And a prime example of that is the crowning of Myles Garrett to some just, unreal superhuman monster that, in my eyes, doesn't exist half the time. Yes, he makes plays. Yes, he's a good football player. But is he that dude? Is he him? I don't think so. I think there's far better players than him in the NFL that don't get the recognition. Robert Rowe, the Steelers will be the next Pittsburgh team to win a championship. I hope so, man. John Broadway, how many former wide receivers have the Steelers gone through without being able to keep one beyond their rookie contract and really be worth the money they believe? I don't know, dude. There's not very many that stick around for, several deals, a couple deals, yeah. The big name ones, those are it. The ones that live inside of Steelers lore forever, the Hines Wards, the Lynn Swans, the John Stallworths, the Louis Lips, the Yancey Fig Pens. Those guys, those guys make double contracts, AB got another deal. They really had high hopes for AB, and then he decides to go off the rails and ends up in with the Raiders and self-implodes, man. And that's all you see from AB after that. Just drama, man. Steelers Nation 412 agreed. Mark S, y'all have a good starter and backup. Truth be heard. I think that they're good to serviceable, man, and I'm definitely not freaked out or worried about them. definitely not. I have high confidence in them. All right, guys, we're about 40 minutes into the show. Make sure we're cracking the shit out of that like button and also sharing the content to everybody you know. I appreciate that so very much. And also continue to subscribe to the channel. We're now over 3,500, so we're on our march toward that 5,000 mark. That'll be the next milestone that we celebrate, and I'll try to come up with something really cool and in order for us to celebrate that 5,000 subscriber goal properly. I think that's something that needs to be celebrated because you guys deserve it. So again, guys, tomorrow we're going to do this because we haven't had a lot of Mafia folks. We've had some of you, but we haven't had a lot of people. So I want to make sure that we do it when people are here. So we'll do it tomorrow. Rest assured, tomorrow's the last day. We'll give everybody a little bit more time. But that's what we'll be giving away tomorrow. And that'll be cool too because it'll be pre-game Steelers preseason game too. So that'll add a little bit to the fun tomorrow for the channel. So truly appreciate that. But hey, we're almost up to 60 paid members for the channel. Part of the Mic Drop Mafia, as we like to call it, 99 cents a month, every month, never will increase, never will go above 99 cents. So forever, it'll be 99 cents, no matter what happens. And that's really cool, man, to have almost 60 people that pay monthly to be part of the Mafia. And they're going to, continue to reap benefits, be able to be entered into our drawings, be able to get some members only content here during the season. And I'm really trying to figure out how to do this monster Zoom call type thing to where we can kind of all see each other on the screen. I'm trying to figure that out. I've seen a couple other people do some things like that. And I think while the Mafia is still under 100, we may be able to do something. Maybe we could get that done. I think that would be super neat. To be able to put some faces with some names. No, he would not fit. I don't think so either. 70s football is pretty good. Been a Steelers fan since 1973 from Danny George. Yeah, we got some true OGs in here, guys, at Mic Drop Sports. We got some true OG Steeler fans here. Definitely some people that have been Steeler fans for longer than I've been alive, some of them, I wasn't born until the 80s, so some of you guys have been Steeler fans far beyond that, and that's super, super cool to have the perspective of people that have lived through it all, man, have lived through the real nuts and bolts of the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise and really remember all the significant history of this team and really get a unique perspective in that way. And it's cool here because your voices get heard and you're not lost in the mix with some of those other channels to where you'll put a comment up there and you probably ain't never going to even be looked at. So Roberta Campbell Ward, AB might have been the last ones. Yeah, probably John Broadway. Anyone remember Bell? 83, number 83. I remember Kendrell Bell. I remember Le'Veon Bell. No, I don't remember number 83 Bell. I don't remember that, John. George T, pizza party when you hit 5,000 at your house. Yeah, I wish I could fit 5,000 people. That'd be sick. No, we're going to come up with something. We got to figure something out, man. I was thinking this, man. A lot of people don't live super far. There's a lot of people that may be able to do it. I was thinking about trying to find like a local bar or something like a sports themed bar or something like that and do a live show from there to where maybe we could have like people come, hang out, drink some beers, do like a little meet around where we can all meet each other and shit like that and have like a little party. That'd be cool. And do a show live from there. Maybe have like a guest or something, make it cool, something different. I think that would be neat. And it doesn't have to be somebody famous or nothing, just any guest. Like somebody just come on and bullshit, talk with me, do it live from a place, and just have a hell of a lot of fun. Robert says Theo Bell. I don't remember who that is. That pizza party would be cool. Since 69, I was 9 years old. That's from George T. Damn, dude. That's so awesome. You guys, I'm telling you, you guys know, you've really truly been through the real important history of the Steelers, if you really think about it. Where were all their where was the dynasty born? Right then, like in the 70s, and you guys remember those times, how they've walked those down those roads and went years with guys like Bubby Brister at the helm to where they weren't able to get it done, and finally being able to get back to the championship with Neil O'Donnell against the Cowboys and have that heartbreak after never feeling that as a Steelers fan, always seeing them win Super Bowls before that, and then finally going and playing Dallas and Tempe, Arizona, and losing that game to the Dallas Cowboys in a fashion in which was heartbreaking. And then you finally got to see the Steelers get another franchise quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, whom was able to get the Steelers to 3 Super Bowl games, winning 2 of those. And that's pretty awesome here in the modern era to have a quarterback that was able to get the 3 of the big ones, man, and get it done twice. And the Steelers getting to what? 8 Super Bowls now, having a 6-2 record inside of those Super Bowls is pretty damn cool too. Justin Meneke, even though it's preseason, but what is your score prediction for tomorrow night's game, Steelers versus Bills? I think you'll see a game in which you see the Steelers probably put up a little bit of points tomorrow. I know you didn't get to see that really in the first game, but I'm going to say tomorrow with Russell Wilson starting out at the quarterback spot, the injuries in which the Bills are dealing with right now, especially in the middle of their defense, I think you're going to start to see the Steelers crank it up a little bit. I think you will see some scoring out of the Steelers. I potentially think you'll see some splash plays also. I look for the Steelers to score in the mid to upper 20s, maybe 30. So we'll just say anywhere from 25 to 30 points tomorrow. I look for the Steelers to be able to put up throughout the course of that game. And I do think the Steelers walk away with a preseason victory. But I want to remind you of this. Justin brings up something when he's talking about the score and what's the prediction. I think the Steelers will win tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they win or lose, but still, I think they will pull out a W in the preseason. But if you look at Mike Tomlin's record as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach in preseason games, and you look at when he's had great preseasons to where this team has won a lot of preseason games, they've looked ultra successful, like they were really going to be able to be super good inside of the regular season and playoffs. Those years typically aren't the years in which Mike Tomlin does very well. The years that Mike Tomlin as head coach has been able to gain playoff victories, he's 8-9 inside of the preseason. So he has a losing record in the preseason out of all of the years that his team has made the playoffs where he's been able to secure a playoff win. Otherwise, he's like 30 and 32 or 33 wins and like 18, 19 losses or something like that in the playoffs. So definitely you want to probably see them lose some playoff games. You don't want them to have a good record because I think it means the Steelers might do potentially better. 1970, when I was 5, that was Robert Roode. Theo Bell and Jim Smith backed up Swan and Stallworth. That's cool to know. I didn't know that, man. I didn't remember Theo Bell. Danny says, I remember my dad cussing Franco Harris back in the day. It's funny. John Broadway. I was very lucky to have been a Steelers fan since 1969. Yeah, I'm 59 years old and always been black and gold for life. Hey, man, I got to give you guys props, especially you guys that have been diehards since the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, diehards, man. Never wavering with your support for the franchise. That's really, really damn cool, dude. That's damn cool. So it's something different, man. Something different. All right, guys, we're about 49 minutes into the show now. So make sure you put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat here. Again, I apologize for being so late. It's already 10:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here where I'm located. So that's pretty crazy. We're never usually on this late. My ass is usually chilling this late at night because I'm a dad who gets up early and doesn't do anything fun, so I'm not up late at night unless the Steelers are on, and then I'm struggling at 11:30 p.m. to do post game show. Last year, dude, some of those late games, like those Monday nighters, Sunday nighters, Thursday nighters, some of those games, man, we didn't do a post game show because it was so freaking late, and it was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Let's keep going. Farrah Taylor, here we go. Steelers are going to the Super Bowl. I hope so, man. George T, you know what time for live tomorrow? Yeah, George, let's do that right now. Let's figure that out. So the game starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Let's do our live show at 5:30. We'll do it at 5:45 tomorrow. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Steel City Live tomorrow, our daily live show here on Mike Drop Sports. As always, I'm Jason. I'll be your host tomorrow, as we always do. And tomorrow, man, make sure you tell everybody we will be giving away our Mike Drop Mafia monthly giveaway. We'll be doing that, so we'll do that, and we'll give everybody a chance to hit on that thing and do it big, man. George T, you know what time for live? We did that. John Broadway. I got to jet, as we said, back in my younger life. Good night, Yins. Go Steelers. Thanks, man. See you, John. Have a good night, buddy. Always a good show. Let's go, Sixburg. Thanks, JT. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button. And also, don't forget to get your last-minute Mic Drop Mafia memberships. I'd truly appreciate that. 99 cents a month, so not too bad. Robert Road, I will be drinking some cold beer with some blues/rock playing, doing some stargazing here in the mountains. Man, Robert, you bring up that, and I think it's awesome you get to sit back and have some beers and stuff tomorrow. That's pretty cool. But you bring up the best part of that whole comment that you made is stargazing, dude. I would love nothing more than to come to a place that you don't have all the lights and houses from, like, cities and towns, to where you get out there on top of the hill, it's pitch ass dark, man, and have a telescope up there, maybe a campfire behind you, and actually get to really look at the sky, the night sky. And I want to do that all the time, and I've never had the opportunity or the resources to really go out and buy the telescope that I would like to buy. I've never been able to bait myself into wasting that kind of change on something, but I think that would be super awesome, man. I've always wanted to build a telescope, too. Oh, I thought somebody was coming in. Thought Jackson was coming in. Roberta Campbell. So he has a losing record in preseason, postseason, but he does good in regular season. That's why I've always said the Steelers have one excellent head coach in Noel and two very good in Cowher and Mike. Noel changed the Steelers in standard, the other great regular season, and struggled in the postseason. Yeah. Bill Cowher, he had his struggles also, losing lots of AFC title games, some heartbreaking losses, man, with Bill. And, I always wondered with Bill, too, was he ever going to reach that mountaintop? Was he ever going to get the chance to hoist that Lombardi trophy? Luckily, he did in his later career, in his second to last season as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Life took him away from the game with his wife, Kay, who got diagnosed with skin cancer and sadly passed away shortly thereafter. But Bill Cowher, got torn away from the game due to family obligations, and wasn't able to get back to that game. But he spent so many years, getting so close, getting to the Super Bowl again with Neil O'Donnell and losing that game in the way that they lost it. Still with a chance late in the game, when they went for that surprise onside. You thought to yourself, man, the Steelers have a freaking chance to win this game and catch another Lombardi trophy. If that game turns out just a little slightly different, we're looking at a franchise with 7 Super Bowls. You look at the Mike Tomlin era where he wins in Tampa Bay against the Cardinals in that Super Bowl where James Harrison was the real hero there and turned that ball game around for the Steelers in a big way. And Ben Roethlisberger was able to march those guys down the field with pinpoint accuracy, touchdown throw late in the game into triple coverage with an amazing catch from the eventual Super Bowl MVP, Santonio Holmes, who was so key on that drive. That was awesome. But then you look at Mike Tomlin's loss to the Green Bay Packers, where Rashard Mendenhall, in my opinion, fumbled that game away. Not having Marquise Pouncey was a big, heavy burden in that game, I think, also. But shit, man. Wouldn't it be crazy if the Steelers had won all of those 8 championships? That's what you'd be looking at. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, the Steelers have been lucky. Sadly, though, Mike Tomlin hasn't been successful in the playoffs for a decade, guys. He's not had a playoff win in a long, long time. And you look at when he was competitive in this league, Super Bowl wise, he had a franchise quarterback already in place when he took over the job in Pittsburgh. He already had a Super Bowl winning roster that he had taken over. And slowly that roster turned over and was no longer available. And you haven't seen him get back to that form, that championship form. I think they had a small window again with the Killer Bee era. However, they let that slip through their hands. But the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely need to get back to those winning ways in the playoffs. And I think Mike Tomlin, in my eyes, to really cement his legacy fully, I think really needs to grab one more, have some major success playoff-wise here late in his career. Brent, much love from 814. What's up, bro? Good to see you, my man. What food you making for the game tomorrow? Hamburgers and French fries. That's what we're doing tomorrow for the game. I get these from Kroger. They're like prime rib burgers. Like it's like prime select cuts, and they make the burger out of the like good cuts of meat, and those burgers are super good, dude. And they're pretty thick. You get them, they're like that thick. Pretty decent size. Not like the bullshit. Oh my God, let me say this before we get off the show tonight too. We got Steak and Shake. We just got a new Steak and Shake. I used to love it when we went down to Steelers Pirates games and shit. We'd stop or go down to Century 3 Mall down there, before that shit got torn down. But anyway, back in the day, we used to go there to Steak and Shake all the time. And not all the time, but here and there. And I always loved the food there. And we got one down here in Morgantown. And we went, and my wife picked up dinner from there. The burgers were literally, dude, like tiny, like hockey puck size, like small. I'm like, dude, I'll eat that in 2 bites, bro. I have 2 boys that are growing like crazy. They eat that shit in one swipe. It was really disappointing. It was like literally $60 for like tiny little burgers. I'm like, what the hell? Still the best defensive play in Super Bowl from James Harrison? Yeah, I thought so. I think that has to rank up there in the top 5, even maybe the top 3, 1, 2 maybe, of Super Bowl plays in general. Robert Road, I am away from light, although I live in the most populated area within my county. There's only 72 people per square mile. My county has less than 8 people per square mile. That's crazy, dude. If I ever come to Colorado, Robert, I want to come by and check out the stars, dude, for sure. TC, we miss Cower. He was a different breed, not a player's coach. TC, it would be sad if Cam Hayward and TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick don't get a chance at a Super Bowl. That's what it's all about right now, guys. And I think TC hits it on the head. It would be sad. Those guys have done it all so far. But they've not had that playoff success. And I think that would be a travesty to have a guy like TJ Watt have his whole career go by without being able to at least take a stab at catching the Lombardi trophy, at least taking a chance at hoisting that Lombardi before it's all done. Cam Hayward also, it would be a real travesty. You got to watch J.J. Watt never get that chance, and I think that's probably weighing on TJ's mind somewhat. Hey, is this going to end up being like my brother and never getting that chance to catch that trophy? And am I going to, have the same outcome as him? I think that he worries about that, and wants to definitely catch one of those trophies, man. Um, it would be tough to definitely not have those guys get one, no doubt about it. Brent got some generic blue cheese and wings for the grill. Hey, man, I like generic stuff. You don't got to buy name brand shit, guys. Generic stuff's better sometimes. Sadly, we all go for our brands, but generic shit, it'll work, man. And you guys do it up, the wing wise up there, Brent. You guys know how to do the wings, man. I will say that about that area, no doubt. The best around. Yeah. If you want wings, you go to Buffalo, baby. Inflation burgers. Yeah, you ain't lying. They used to be like, I don't know, $8, $9 a pack. I think they're like 12, 13, 14 now. And you only get four in a pack. George T loved Steak and Shake when I lived in Orlando, mid '80s. Yeah, they changed a little bit. George, it's definitely a little different than what I remember. I haven't had it in years, and we just got one literally. Probably it opened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it just was not. Actually, I was on a live show one night, and I'd said, "Oh, my wife's here. We got Steak and Shake. We just got it." And I went down after the show, and I was all amped up for it. I had ordered chili cheese fries, a burger. I was like, hell yeah, like this is gonna be awesome. I get down there, it was like, what in the hell is this shit? I didn't remember the burgers being that small. Roberta Campbell, is there still big boy restaurants in Pittsburgh anymore? Oh, you're talking about Elby's Big Boy. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think Elby's Big Boy's around anymore. I don't remember. There used to be one in Uniontown, Elby's Big Boy. No, they're not no more. They're not around. At least I don't know of any, Roberta. Brent, we had a Steak and Shake for about 10 years. Then they left. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me if this one packed up and moved out. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I might try it. I might give it one more chance. Maybe I just ordered like, the smaller size burger by accident and didn't realize it because I was just getting a regular burger. I didn't want any of those like elaborate ones. I just wanted like a regular burger because when I first try a place like that, especially place I haven't eaten in a while, I just want to get a regular plain burger. That's how you know whether you're gonna like their eccentric ones, their complex burgers with a bunch of shit on it because you got to know. You got to do the taste test. You need to know if you like that patty. You need to know if you like their buns, man. I think it's very important to do that. Roberta, it would be sad for them, but in the same time, they all just love Tomlin. I feel he is stale anymore. I felt like that too, Roberta, for a very long time, and I still can't say that I don't. I felt like his locker room message in terms of uh, preparation for play may be a little bit stale. Yeah, he's a player's coach. These guys like him. They're down with him. They're cool with him and stuff. But I think in terms of preparation for the games and things of that nature, I just find his message to be stale, and that may not be message in terms of motivation and things of that nature. Because as Chuck Noll said, if I have to motivate you, I'm cutting you. Because nobody should have to motivate you to get out on that football field. You should be able to do that on your own because of the game, because of the way you need to be able to play the game of football. And I don't think it's about that for Tomlin. I think it's about the schematics, and I think it's about the decision making and the roster and the way he handles or mishandles at times players on the roster and the depth chart in general. And I think he's made some bad moves. I feel like he does some very stupid things at times, and you all see that. It's not Jason making that up. Does have those deficiencies. It is what it is. But I think that's where he's stale. I just don't think he's evolved with the NFL the way that has needed to over the years. And, that comes probably with being in the position he has been for, almost 2 decades. Let's keep going. TC, hey Jay, you ever went to Fuddruckers? If not, you get a chance. You got to try it. I have never been there. No, TC. I will have to remember that. Fuddruckers. I think I've seen them before, but I've never been to one. Oh, where did we go last year? We went vacation down Myrtle Beach last year, and I tried a place that everybody always raves about. It's a chicken place. Shit, I can't remember. Maybe it'll come to me, but it was freaking horrible, man. But everybody's like, "Oh, it's so good," and I'm like, "It was nasty." I gotta remember what the name of it was. Rubber Road, $1 in 1900 is worth maybe 5 cents now. Shrinkflation. It's real. Yeah, no shit, bro. No shit, bro. You remember the days when you had $100 and you're like, I got a lot of money on me, bro. I'm packing. I got a bunch of bucks, and now today you have $100 and you're like, I don't know if I can go into this store. I don't know if I have enough money. Brent, Rob, it seems like defensive minded coaches are being left behind. McDermott and Buffalo can't get freaky with the play sheets. Yeah, and you see that, Brent. You're exactly right. Defensive minded coaches have to evolve and adjust a little bit, man. Like we were talking about earlier in the show, you can still win with a defensive mentality and philosophy, but you have to have a little bit more contributions from an offense. The days of winning a Super Bowl strictly on defense, like the Baltimore Ravens did, I believe in 2000, doesn't happen anymore. You can't win that way now. You have to have some contributions in a big way from your offense. You just can't solely rely on your defense. And defensive-minded coaches still think that you can go out there and win week after week, 14 to 10, 13-10, 17-14 ball games every week in, week out. And the way the rules are, the way this league has been driven to the offensive side of the football, it's almost impossible to win like that week in and week out. Sometimes you can, but it can't be your norm. It can't be something that you do consistently. Absolutely not. Luke says, can't wait to see Arthur Smith run his offense. Just remember what he did in Tennessee with one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL. I truly believe we have all the pieces to make a deep run. Luke, I got to say I agree, and I don't think that this wide receiver room is bad at all, and I think it's far better than he had in Tennessee, without a doubt. Far better in my eyes. And I think the quarterback play will be better because I think Ryan Tannehill sucked. So I think that there's two advantages right there, and I think that this offensive line room as a whole has enough young talent in it that I'm really pumped to see what they can do long term, and I think that they're gonna gel together hopefully at the right time to where the Steelers have a very cheap, affordable offensive line room as a whole that is one of the better ones in the league, and I think that there's potential for that. And I think the Steelers have some great running backs and good tight ends, and I think the recipe for success is there. It just has to boil down to whether or not Mike Tomlin and this coaching staff as a whole execute it and put these players in the correct position to win. George T says Tomlin got to work on his challenges and clock management. Absolutely, George T. Those two aspects of his game are horrible, man. Horrible. And you don't have to take my word for it. You just watch the tape, and that's what it'll say exactly what George T just said there. Poor challenges, poor clock management. And also, I think his roster management, his inability to sit people sometimes when needed and go to a different player, and his inability to make the changes necessary at times are very troublesome to me. Roberta Campbell, they closed all of them over here in Indiana and Chicagoland. Yeah, dude, I haven't seen one in a long time, Roberta. I don't know what happened to the big boys. I think somebody bought them out. Tom Ford, what's up, guys? I just got home from work. What's up, Tom? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Oscar? Doing good, man. Brent, considering how the rules are so geared toward offense, how do we as fans feel about letting the defense taunt? What do you mean? Oh, like talking shit? I mean, I'm down for the defense to talk shit. I think that's what you got to do as a defensive player. I think you got to get in the heads of the offensive guys, Yeah, and I agree. Give me one good reason why Watt can't stand over Burrow and flex. I don't see a problem with it, man. I'm down for that kind of stuff. I'm down for that type of exciting play, man. I even hope to see from the team that I help coach on Sunday is that type of craziness on defense. And I've tried to say it and speak it into existence for my kids. And I got to say, man, that's what you need. That's what you have to have on defense. And I'm all for it. And I don't know why they try to tone them back a little bit. And this shit of protecting the quarterback, you know, crazy to where it's just over the top with how much they protect them. It gets old too. It's football. You're going to get hit, man. That's what you signed up for. Tom Ford says, I hear San Fran offered Ayuk $30 million per year. Yeah, that's possibility, man. And if he doesn't take $30 million per year, that tells you he does not want to be in San Francisco, because here's the thing. I can guarantee you the Steelers aren't paying him $30 million a year, or that contract that they have in place isn't for $30 million a year. And I could say that I would be really confident in saying the number for the Steelers is between $26 and $28 million per season, with about 80 to 85 million fully guaranteed over 4 years. And I think it's going to be about 111 to 115 million, probably 110, 100 to 115 million over the term of that contract. That's just where I think the Steelers would be. And I don't think it would be a penny more than those max numbers that I gave you on that range. I just don't think so, at least Steeler wise. So if I was Ayuk and I'm looking for a bag, 30 million as opposed to 28 million in Pittsburgh is a vastly different situation that you're in. If you're Brandon Ayuk, considering 30 million there is probably far less value than 28 million in Pittsburgh, considering the tax bracket that they're in California. No wonder every business in the United States is moving their headquarters out of California, because they're so overly obnoxiously taxed, and the pro players in sports there are no different with that. And that's why I said maybe 28 million might be more appealing than 30 million to Ayuk in San Francisco. Robert wrote, I saw that the Steelers wide receiver group was rated 30th out of 32 teams. I think they are better than that. I think they're far better than that. And I think by the end of this season, I think a lot of people are going to eat their words, Robert. And I think they're going to eat them in a big, big way. Because guys, I caution you. Do not believe the narrative being spun by the national media when they tell you Van Jefferson is a second-rate bum wide receiver. He is not. He's going to be a contributor, especially if he remains healthy. He is a guy that can get the job done. Calvin Austin is a guy that I think can really do it too. And you hear a lot from the national media. No, everybody's saying, he's too small, he's this, he's that, he's not going to be any good. He comes to work every day, and people that have intimate knowledge of this team know how hard he works. Yes, when you're dealing with smaller body wide receivers, you're going to probably, have to put them in motion a lot of the times, have to keep them on the move, because you don't want them to get jammed off of the line and be relatively ineffective and take too long to get onto their route. Yeah, we understand that. You're going to have to move him around. You're going to have to put him in the position. But I think Arthur Smith is smart enough to be able to put Calvin in a position to succeed. So I'm confident in him doing the things that are going to be needed. Roman Wilson, I think he's another guy that you're going to have to keep in motion and moving around also. But I think he is going to be a guy that ends up being valuable before the end of the season. So I'm excited, man. Oscar, I'm down for players getting their money, but when they use us as bait, that sucks. Yeah, I agree, dude. I don't like the back and forth bullshit. That's what I said, though. If I was Omar Khan, I'd call literally today, probably would have been Friday, and I would have said to him, I'd have called up John Lynch, and I'd have been like, look, dickbag, this is my shit. If you don't call me, by 6 p.m. today and give me a definitive answer, just consider our offer withdrawn. We don't have to speak anymore about it. It's done. We're out. That's what kind of ultimatum I'd have put out there. And it is what it is. No, yeah, Watkins, I'm not confident in his ability, man. You see him muff punts, Oscar. I've watched him drop some passes, even in, for instance, in the Super Bowl, and he's been very consistent in that. Also, his inconsistency in being aggressive toward the football. I know he's put on some weight. I know he's gotten a little bit more physical, but that was one of his major deficiencies, his inability to go and attack the football at its highest point and really be aggressive with the defenders that are guarding him to outwork them to get to that football. And I think that's a major issue for Watkins, and I'm not sure that Quez has fixed that, and I'm not sure if he ever will. Also, having the drops in big moments is something that, we didn't like with Deontay Johnson, which, people blew out of proportion at times. So imagine with Quez Watkins, the drops that he's had in Philadelphia, especially in a Super Bowl game. Imagine what the fan base would say about that here. It's definitely a very interesting story to see what would maybe potentially happen with Quez, but it is what it is. All right, guys, we're going to start wrapping it up. I didn't even realize that I've been going for 75 minutes here on Steel City Live. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We'll be doing this. That'll be happening for our Mic Drop Mafia members. 99 cents a month. Make sure you join. It'll always be 99 cents a month. It'll never change. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel as we continue our march toward 5,000. We just hit our last milestone of 3,500 subscribers, so we want to get going about 1,500 more. Well, less than 1,500 now, and we'll see what we have after tonight. So we usually get a few. But yeah, make sure you do that. Spread the word of the channel. If I missed your comment, I apologize. Make sure you're back tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Mic Drop Sports daily live stream here. Steel City Live pregame show, Steelers Bills preseason game 2. Make sure you're tuned in for that. And I appreciate you. And I said we were going to go a little extra tonight. I just didn't realize that it would be pushing 11 p.m. So, again, thank you guys for bearing with me. Thank you for coming through the show. And I truly appreciate it. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace.